What is up, my friends? I actually started on time today. I saw a few of you in chat while I was driving. So, hello, Luda, Tip the Lady Sleuth, Cat's Eye. Indy has questions. Salty C, Val's, hello. Morris, Tiny Tree, Tiffany, Roberta, Purple Knights, Auburn, Donnie, hello, everyone. And hello to everyone else just coming in. I don't know what kind of turnout we're going to get. I really don't care. I hope that some people that need to hear this come. Of course, who am I? I'm a nobody. But I have opinions, right? Very strong opinions. And the way I operate is I just kind of sit back, take it all in, mull some things over, just kind of slosh it around the old noggin. And then I'll speak on it if necessary. Well, I think we can all say that some things have gone on that kind of makes this necessary. You can take it or leave it. This is just my opinions, my perception of some things going on. I don't expect anyone to agree with me. I'm not going to hate you if you don't, because I value different opinions. One thing I am going to ask everyone, my mods, just keep an eye. I'm not going to be cool with people coming in here and bashing other creators. I'll do some name dropping myself, but let that fall on me. One of my opinions is that as a creator, whatever you want to call it, as someone who gets up here and has the platform that we allow people to come chat in and have conversations, we have responsibilities too. Although we can't control people's behaviors and how they choose to act, we have a responsibility to kind of nip it in the bud so that things don't fester and get all blown out of proportion. So let's just try to keep that to a minimum. I'm going to be respectful about the things I say, opinions I have about certain situations to the best of my ability. So you guys just follow suit. And I feel like if we just do that, if we act like adults, then, it's just a lot less conflict in the end. So, where I want to start is a couple of nights ago, Griff had done a stream and he was looking for verification on Lisa from Lisa's Home Life. I have no real beef with Griff. We had a disagreement at one point because of someone else. He said what he felt he needed to say to me. I responded. And it's just kind of been that ever since. I don't like some things he has said about a couple of people that I associate with, but that's okay. I'm not losing any sleep over it. So it is what it is. I understand that he wanted verification on what happened with Lisa. I guess he had gotten an email. It ended up being third-party information. I just would have chosen to verify it before I brought it to everyone else. That's just how I would have done it differently. Because it turns out that Lisa's alive. I don't know if you could say alive and well. She was in the hospital. I don't know what was going on. But she is, in fact, still walking the earth. I did share Griff's post on my community page where he was confirming that she was no longer with us. And then right behind it, I posted the proof that is allegedly from her saying that she is alive. She had been in the hospital. While in the hospital, her account was hacked or cloned. I don't know what happened, and a bunch of trouble got started. There was a rumor that the family had a private investigator involved and they had all the evidence they needed, and those people who were mean to her on a stream would be held accountable. The reason I made 2 separate posts on my community page, and I think I even told people, put 2 and 2 together and let me know what you come up with. The point of that little exercise was everyone is always whining about getting your facts straight. And that was just like a little exercise to show that within less than 24 hours, a rumor had circulated that this woman was gone, no longer alive, took her own life because the internet was so mean to her that she just couldn't take it anymore. That last stream, and I didn't watch the stream, I heard about it. I saw some issues that kind of popped up as a result of that stream. What kind of ticked me off and why I said, let's be careful what we say in chats, and we as creators have a responsibility to monitor that, is because in the stream where Griff was looking for verification of this event, this woman who supposedly got bullied so bad she took her own life, there were people in that chat alluding to Tiffany being the cause of it. When I know for a fact that when Tiffany hopped off that panel that night, she even told Lisa she was welcome to come on her channel anytime she wanted. But there were some other people on that panel and in that chat that night of her stream that were extremely rude to her. So there was all kinds of, we've got the main rumor that she took her own life, and then you have all these other little fires happening in the chat that just snowball. Because I'm sure it's going around now, until people catch on that she is in fact still alive. People are still going to talk about her being gone, and some people are going to blame Tiffany, and that's just wrong. To be blamed for someone taking their own life, that's not just some petty little rumor. This crap is going way too far. Way too far. I also got confirmation this morning that another death that people have been talking about, which kind of prompted the title of this stream, was Scooby-Doo. I read an email 3 times now from a family member of Scooby-Doo's, her daughter, and she is in fact in a better place now. There were some medical issues, some heart problems. She was in the hospital and she didn't make it out. Can you imagine being a daughter and having your mother, who was, an active participant on YouTube? And I'm telling you guys, Scooby, she has been there with me since day one. I still listen to the voice clip messages. She would always call me on Facebook Messenger, and because of the time difference, and I have kids and I'm going to school and all different things, it was hard for us to actually be able to have a conversation. So she would always leave me a lot of little voice messages. And I still listen to those because I miss her. And to hear people going around talking about her, saying that she's a part of some big conspiracy with Maleficent and the Seven Dwarfs and whoever the hell else from Disney that we can drag into it. It's not her, okay? So leave the family alone. Quit harassing them. Quit slandering this poor woman's mother's name because you're super sleuthing IP gathering crap for your documentary has led to this. She's no longer here. She's no longer a part of YouTube. She wasn't someone that any of you guys associated with. Although I have seen her tell you guys off a few times. So let it go. If you guys are doing this crap and you've got people, one, who are being slandered and they're not even walking the earth anymore to be able to defend themselves, or you've got people so freaking stressed out that they would pretend that they're no longer here, or maybe they thought about, and I'm not saying that this has been done. I just, like I said, I think about things like in a lot of different facets. And you've got someone who maybe wants to leave YouTube, so they come up with this story of why they're just suddenly gone, but then they have a change of heart, and then they're like, oh, well, that wasn't me. Someone else did that. If you've got people so freaking stressed out that they would be okay with someone saying that they're not alive anymore just so they don't have to deal with this crap, you need to take a step back and reevaluate your methods of how you're doing things and the way you're living your life and the kind of person you are, because that is freaking sick. It's sick. How did it get to this? And I'm no better than anybody else. I don't think that I know it all, or that I'm perfect, or that I have all the answers, because I damn sure don't. But you know what? If I don't have the answers, I don't just fill in the blank and make something up. Yes, Tip the Lady Sleuth. We did all of Scooby. And her brother went in a chat and tried to, I think it was Ziggy's chat, tried to tell people that she was gone a month ago. Nobody believed him. And I heard a rumor. I haven't verified it because I haven't reached out and talked to her directly. But if anyone has heard this, it was said that a certain creator thought that it was a made-up death and it wasn't true. Well, yeah, it was. So if you hear anyone saying that, I'm telling you, it is 100% true. Let Scooby be at peace now. So moving on, hopefully that will answer some questions. Lisa's still here. Scooby is not. Let's stop talking about people dying. Seriously. Heels on the ground. I think it's very admirable that JLR wants to be a part of something called Heels on the Ground. I really do. However, I think that with the over 2,600 lawsuits he's filed and the over $8 million he's been awarded over the course of time, he could buy another pair of shorts. Or hell, he could even fund the Amazon wish list. I mean, really? We're taking donations when you have a team member who could fund the whole nonprofit? 8 mil. You know what I could do with 8 mil? I don't know where Levitt is. He's not in here. He's not up on this panel with me. Then we got a little lesson from Heels on the Ground that we are all just couch potato creators. They are the only ones that put forth any effort. We're all just chopped liver because okay, we're not talking about Chris Larson in my chat, Gigi. Sorry. Don't bring that crap here. I can guarantee you, like, I don't have the luxury of just taking off and going on location, okay? I have a family. I have 3 children, 2 that are minors, 1 who is working his way through college that we house and feed. I have a husband. I go into college. My kids have activities. I can't just up and go. But that doesn't mean that I put any more effort or any less effort into what I do compared to you. So I think it's kind of tacky and tactless and classless, actually, to come on here for 5 minutes and start putting everybody else down and acting like you are God's gift to YouTube. Cut it out. Yes, you guys are doing great things. You guys have also done some really bad things. You guys have done some things I don't agree with. Hell, y'all don't even know who I am. But you know what I'm also doing? I'm also like studying, trying to lock in as much knowledge so that when I'm done with this part of school, I can go take my PI exam and actually get credentialed to do those things. I have a wish list too, saved on my computer for a neat little website. You should check it out. It's pigear.com. Because yes, doing good PI work does take, little tools and tricks of the trade and things like that. Plus, gadgets are just fun. But I don't have my wish list or my shopping cart posted all over the place expecting my subs to fund it. I'm just not going to do that. If you don't have the startup capital for an organization, maybe it's not quite time to start up. Maybe. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, yeah, you're a monetized channel. You're making money. And that just kind of goes into the next thing is this whole lesson we got on ad placement. Like, I had no idea that there was a way to place your ads to, like, make all this money. Honestly, I just turned my monetization on and just went with it. It is what it is. I mean, I'm not going to tell people, hey, shoot me money to this or that because I don't want to pay the fees. YouTube has bills to pay too. And that I'll elaborate more on that when we get to the whole monetization exploitation part. But it is a new trend now, right? Everyone's dropping their Cash Apps and their PayPals and this and that. Like, that seems to be the thing to do. Yes, I think YouTube's fees are a little steep, especially when they have millions of people, making their money for them. But it's just, it's part of the cycle, right? You have people that place their ads, that makes them money. It's just the way economics works. So, it's fine. It's fine. People stick ads in their videos. I had someone like just going off about, man, you got to pay to even watch the video. Well, yeah, but YouTube has it set up that way. So maybe take your issue up with them. Why do you care where people choose to spend their money? It's not your business. Quit counting other people's dollars. Especially when I see all of you sitting there with your Cash Apps and your gangs and everything else. You're all making money. One person that we're going to talk about probably making all kinds of money, or at least might take part of the fall for it in the end. So heels on the ground, yeah, I'm not liking your cocky, condescending attitude. Better than everybody else. The rest of us are just lazy. We're just lazy. They don't put any work into it. Couch potatoes. Okay. Well, I'll take a trip somewhere whenever someone wants to give me thousands of donations. Because, yeah, I'm a broke college student. We support a family of 5 on my husband's income. And guess what? He's an arborist, a tree climber. He trims trees. If he doesn't work, he doesn't get paid. And this time of year, work is scarce. Lots of unusual alliances we've seen going on. What was it? Got some new hoes running around. Some new hoes on the YouTube. Not my words, theirs. Chris McDonough did a little. It was an educational live. Kind of talked about some investigative techniques and skills when he was like going over the interview with Allie on the porch and the pizza and the Mountain Dew and her stomach. Now, with everything I've learned in school, like looking at it from that aspect, I knew a lot of the things he was talking about. It was some of the things that I picked up on during that interview. Though I will disagree, I think that Leslie was a fluffer too. I think it wasn't planned for her to be there, but it was convenient that she was. So, yeah, she was carefully placed. One thing I wasn't happy about, though, I didn't like that he, kind of went off on AB, threatening a strike for playing his content. I thought that wasn't cool. Tiffany and AB were very supportive of him when he lost his channel. They gave him a platform to speak on. I just feel like that whole thing could have been handled it differently, especially when you get up the next morning and everybody and their brother and their brother's dog was playing the same content. Public apology might be nice, but who am I to tell anyone how to do things? And have you guys heard that we have a new fundraiser that's about to kick off? I don't really know much about it, but rumor has it that it's going down. Yeah. There was a great explanation video put out this morning. Critical Thinking Crime. You guys should go over there and check that out. She really broke down the last summer fundraiser. So it made a lot of good points about that fundraiser. Very key points. Just the way that, 501(c)(3)s are supposed to be set up, what the purpose of them is. And, she even went back and, found some clips of the fundraiser sponsors talking about they needed to be a 501(c). They recognized someone in the chat told them, you need to think about this. They recognized the comment. Nobody knew what it was. When they figured out that it was for a nonprofit, they kicked it around and then decided, no, they didn't need to do that. Because then you needed to, stay up to date on your certification for 501(c). Okay. So if you plan on doing more fundraisers, what's wrong with that? Why not do it the right way? But I guess that just goes back to, your morals and ethics. I'm not going to go too far into the old fundraiser. Who cares? It's done. We're never going to know how much money was raised and all that crap. But yeah, I don't know what the new fundraiser's for. I don't know who all is involved in it. I think a couple of people from before. Um, yeah, just all kinds of money's going on. I see it too. I see all this money crap happening. I'm not blind. I'm not up someone's butt so far that I don't agree that there's like some shady money stuff going on. I know there is. But people that you wouldn't think that would, kind of be on, I don't even like to say the same team. That's so dumb. We're all people. We're all here. We can all choose to listen and watch who we want. It shouldn't be this forcing someone to choose. A lot of people can't understand why I still support Tiffany Marie. They just can't get past it. A lot of people hate me for it. Like, they don't even like me. They don't know anything about me, but they don't like me because I'm linked to Tiffany Marie. You know why I choose to support her after all this time? Is because she not one time has ever put me in a position to make me choose. I like people and listen to people that she doesn't get along with. But she doesn't put me in a position to choose the way a lot of you people are putting yourselves in the position to being forced to choose. You're forcing yourselves to choose who and what you can and can't like because you happen to be in someone's chat every day and they don't like that person, or they said something that may or may not be true about that person. So it must be fact. Nobody tells me what to do. Tiffany and I have had one disagreement the entire 7 months that we've been in contact with each other. And you know what we did? We felt our feelings and then we talked about it and we got through it and we're okay. I didn't have to worry about her doing me dirty. People have warned me, you better not ever get on her bad side. Well, you know what? I was on her bad side for about 24 hours because I allowed myself to be baited into some BS and I reacted, and it was just bad timing. It happens. Friends disagree. But not once did I ever have to have a fearful moment that she was going to do something dirty to me. But there's a lot of other people out there that if I even gave you the time of day, I would have to worry about you doing something dirty to me if I had an issue with you. It's been done. So that is why I still support Tiffany Marie. Same thing with AB. Has nothing to do with coming up or money or any conspiracies. It's just that they're good people. The people that I know them to be, that I have gotten to know over the past 7 months, they've never done anything wrong to me. And that's what I judge them on. Doesn't mean I have to agree with everything they've done in every other area of their life. But yesterday I was going to do this stream, and yes, I go to church. We didn't go yesterday. We watched church from home because my oldest daughter was exposed to COVID and we're waiting for tests. But we went over John chapter 8, verse 1 through 11. So, Mr. Preacher Man, Sir, I know you're listening, or you have someone who is, or you will go back and listen and come at me later. When you're over there preaching the Bible from the garage, talk about that and about throwing stones. Because you were throwing a lot of stones this morning. So I wanted to share an article with you guys. I'm not putting it on the screen. You guys being the great little true crime investigators that you are, I'm a sucker for going out and researching. I love it. I love to dig and find answers. I like to learn. But there was this really good article, and it is called Countering the Narcissist and the Deflector. It's by Carol Owens, not to be confused with Carol White, who was once said to have been me. And you can find it on the Berkshire Eagle. So there you go. You cannot change a narcissist. For those who wish to lessen his power, remember William James, psychologist and brother of Henry James, who once wrote, and I'll put the link to this in the description after I'm done. But the quote from William James is, "No more fiendish punishment could be devised than that one should be turned loose in society and remain absolutely unnoticed by the members thereof." So you guys think on that for a little bit. And then we're going to talk about what Miss Carol Owens said in her article. She said, "What is deflection? Deflection is accusing another of doing the very thing you are guilty of yourself. The guilty party does this to avoid any investigation of or consequence for his own behavior. The knee-jerk reaction to deflection by a public figure is twofold. The accused denies and defends. The reporters work diligently to seek out and publish the truth. Don't bother. The deflector accuses someone else to avoid scrutiny. So if you know someone is a deflector, investigate his accusation, not the person he accuses. You will discover what he did." So that seems to go along with a lot of what's been going on lately. Another word that has been thrown around at least 587 times a day is narcissist. What is a narcissist? A clinical definition of a narcissist is not one who loves himself, but one who has an inflated sense of his own importance, a deep need for admiration, and a lack of empathy. That is, a narcissist thinks everything is about him, has no understanding of or concern for others, and needs to claim credit for anything good and to deny responsibility for any failure. Beneath apparent self-confidence, even brashness, is a fragile self-esteem that is threatened by even the slightest criticism. Therefore, daily he will deflect, blame, and accuse others. Then there's also what's known as the one bad apple. Now, you guys listen to this and think about some bad apples. A group is controlled by its most neurotic member. It would be helpful to know why, but first, what is a group? It's a number of people, as few as 3, as many as 535. If you're talking about politics, the 318 million citizens of the United States, the 100 plus staffers at the White House, you get the idea of what a group is. To get to work, A group must agree to group norms, acceptable language and behavior, and common goals. Well, I think a lot of groups that we're seeing haven't kind of really gotten together and thought about what their behavior and common goals should be. The most neurotic member controls because he does not agree to the terms. See, the most neurotic member is going to be the one that lays out all these rules, but then they don't really want to follow them because, what's good for the goose isn't good for the gander in their eyes. That's my interpretation of it. His language and behavior remains outside the norm. He will not change, but will use the following defenses. My predecessor did the same thing. Other members do it, but you don't treat them any better. And you may not like it, but it's not illegal. Where have we heard that? You may not like the doxing, but it's not illegal. So basically, tough shit. If you get doxed, tough, right? Wrong. Give you a little lesson on that in a couple of weeks. I'm working on some stuff. All the energy of all the other members of the group is focused on trying to convince or control the neurotic member, and so work never begins, right? You're just stuck in the same pattern of deflection and narcissism and starting rumors and attacks and all of this crap that does not matter. It doesn't matter. Why does it matter? Has it helped find Summer? And yes, Summer's case is the case that broke the tube, in case anyone didn't know. Things will never go back to the way they were. The true crime community is gone. It's gone. Tiffany said it best last night. It will never go back to just being a true crime community where all you talk about is crimes. All we can do now is a little self-reflection and evaluation on what our motives are, what we hope to accomplish as individuals, and as what little of our community still remains, and try to continue to work for these victims and their families. But as far as everything just being, all is forgiven, life's great, no, it's not going to happen. A lot of damage has been done by a lot of people, and people that I, really didn't have a dog in the fight with. Never really had any big issues with, didn't agree, like I said, with the way they've treated people that I care about. Yeah, we're never going to get back there. And it's not that I hate these people. It's just that when I've seen what's been done to other people, I'd be a damn fool to let you get near me. Why would I do that? I'm not here to please anyone except the victims and their families that I work with. And trust me, I work with plenty. I was once told by someone, this guy creator, I was once told that if I just listened to what he had to say and maybe followed his lead a little bit, I don't remember like verbatim, then I too could be talking to victims' families every day. Buddy, you have no idea how many conversations I have with victims' families. No idea whatsoever. So no, I do not need any advice from you, because I can guarantee you the way I talk to a victim's family and the way you talk to a victim's family are like night and day. And I'm kind of thinking maybe your way isn't really working out, since all this advice you're giving them to not talk to anyone else isn't being taken. And yes, sir, you did say, let's see, you said that someone was under the impression that that Dawn wasn't supposed to talk to anyone else? Well, yes, you did tell Dawn don't talk to anybody else without talking to me first. You said it to Dawn on a stream, and I heard it. Other people heard it too. Don't play with me. So now we're all up in arms waiting for this visual validation timeline, right? Because there's this big documentary coming out about super chat patterns and moving money around and all this crazy stuff going on, right? Well, counting my super chat is going to be easy for y'all. Okay, not a lot of mathing to do. And my conscience is clear, so you guys can come up with all kinds of proof and this and that. And you know what? I used to live in North Carolina too. Run with that. But I can guarantee you that just because I lived in North Carolina, let's see, 11 years ago, that doesn't mean I'm tied into some freaking visual validation timeline and people doing all kinds of crap to get money here to there. I'm broke as hell. So if you come into contact with all this money y'all think that are going on and you get your hands on some of it, drop it in my Cash App. I'm just kidding. Don't. Please don't. So why wait if you have all this proof that you're going to march up to the White House? Thank you for the super sticker. If you're going to march all this proof up to the White House and do this and that, and don't get me wrong, when this summer's petition first started, I could have got behind it if some things were done a little bit differently. But I just couldn't. I couldn't get behind it because, it doesn't matter how you spin it. YouTube is set up for people to get up here and talk about whatever they want to. And that was not timed right. It's okay. It's okay. That was funny that you said it wasn't timed right. But people can get up here and talk about whatever they want to, right? And YouTube allows them, all you need is 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of public watch time. That's all you need. And then YouTube can make money. And then by us making money, YouTube makes money, and it just keeps the cycle going. So, so what? Only certain people can make money because the Lizard of Oz says you're not allowed to? You're not allowed to. I've got my visual validation timeline. My people. My people. Man, why are you putting so much effort into it? Put all that energy into something real because you're making a lot of people look crazy. And I can assure you that Tiffany has nothing to do with Nita. In fact, Tiffany didn't even really know who she was until y'all fake doxed Tiffany on Nita's channel. I don't even know what was going on with all that, but it was just as crazy then as what's going on now. So if you have all these facts, enough facts to make a whole documentary, which, let me add, is probably going to be set up on a platform to make some money, why don't you care about the viewers enough to just go ahead and bust it out right now? You claim to be for humanity, for the people, for the viewers. And if that is your little boyfriend now, and he is the man behind the curtain working with you on all this stuff, you need to pump those brakes. Because after I heard that there was a text message that said there was a text message that said that Tiffany Marie only released that only released that call because he turned her down romantically. Did you hear how many times that man called Tiffany honey in that phone call? And excuse me, but have you seen Tiffany in comparison to a couple of other people? He wouldn't have turned her down, nor would she have given him the time of day. We all know that we're marrying Tiffany and AB off. Come on. So if you care about your subs and your viewers and your people and your team and this and that and all the people you have going out here digging around in people's personal private lives, don't wait. If it's that important, then let's see it. You wanted me to prove that Scooby was no longer alive, right? As if you're privy to that after the way you guys have been behaving. I'm not posting that. Everyone always wanting proof for something. Can't ever just, the way I approach things is when someone tells me something, if it sounds like it's plausible, highly possible, I'm going to believe it until something is in my face showing me otherwise. Because if I were to live my life second guessing every word that comes out of someone's mouth and requiring some kind of proof to be posted publicly, good Lord, I'd have enough luggage under my eyes that we could all go on a very lavish trip. I don't have time for that, nor do I have the patience. I mean, I give you an A for, being fired up about something and wanting to, do something for the greater good. But, honey, you are not going to get anyone to stop making money off these high profile cases. It doesn't mean that we have to agree with how it's done, but it's just not going to happen. And you were talking like stream after stream, which they're all gone now because your buddy called you out, talking about how exhausted you were and stressed out and how to keep moving locations because people were trying to figure out where you were. And then it was said that you've been in Tennessee the whole time since before Christmas. Please tell me that's not true. Because I know you've been on the YouTube street seeing like where him and another person were going to get married. Hell, they even said at one point they were going to adopt Summer. I mean, I didn't even know about all the other women that he had in his back pocket taking money from. Good Lord, I'm glad he never had his sights on me because I don't have two nickels to rub together right now. I wouldn't have given him any money anyway. And didn't you freaking do a stream about how you busted out an internet scam, like a romance scam? You said your mom was a victim of it and you busted out this scam and she had got taken for a bunch of money. You said that on your stream, girlfriend. And now come to find out you're getting internet romance scammed by 423 Chase, the biggest con artist walking the tube streets. He's a fraud. And we all tried to tell you guys that. We sure did. So guess what? Told you so. Tiffany told you so. In fact, Libby even confirmed that. Her and Penny were up on a stream, and Libby even said, well, Tiffany Marie was right about Chase. Instead of people just being like, yep, she was. Someone, another creator who, let me remind them, didn't have anybody till Tiffany started like sharing the link to her channel and all this and that. You know, I was all for her, all supportive of her in the beginning. I thought, oh yeah, you know, I'm gonna adopt her as my grandma because she is feisty like me. But you know what she said in that chat where Libby basically vindicated Tiffany? So it still doesn't change my perception. Over coffee. That's where this started. Coffee. Freaking coffee. Yeah. And people are keeping the hatred rolling when it stems from that. It's not that Tiffany Marie did anything to harm Summer's case. It's not that Tiffany Marie stole a bunch of money from people. It's not that Tiffany Marie did anything wrong recently. People don't like her for something she did a couple of years ago. Now, keep in mind, it wasn't just that she called someone a name just in passing. She was a paying customer at an establishment who was probably being treated like crap right back. When I get mad at someone, there's no telling what I might call you. Sorry. You've all done it too. In fact, I even heard a guy say this morning that Tiffany's claim to fame is Dunkin' Donuts. No, it's not. You know why Dunkin' Donuts is even a part of it, sir? It's because someone who is now one of your mods, your most zen mod around, chat spammed the link to that Dunkin' Donuts video. And that very same mod had the nerve, and I'm going to quote it, that very same mod who was sending everyone over to that damn video had the nerve to say this. Yes, I have a notebook of all this, you guys. Her exact words were, it's unbelievable to me how cruel people will be to others without even making sure their facts are correct. Out of her mouth. And yeah, that was probably the one thing that she's ever said that I recall that makes sense. So Joan Spring, clap, clap. You finally said something worth listening to. But you're top mod now over there in his chat, aren't you? Don't worry. I won't tell him about the time you told me that you had all kinds of resources that I could take all of them down if I needed your help. I'll never post those messages for everyone to see. Your secret's safe, Joan Spring. Here's another little tidbit from the same person when you guys were discussing the phone call with Chase. He told TM he knew where Summer was. That should have stopped everyone dead in their tracks. Well, no kidding. So to answer your question you had this morning where you were trying to figure out how many hours were in 5 days, the reason it took 5 days is, can you imagine, out of the blue, you're just home making a salad, hungry, want to eat something good, just chopping those veggies, and you get a phone call and someone drops that in your lap. There's already been questions of this person's like integrity why is this person even around? You know, it was just in the wake of all this fundraiser and then this billboard. And then all of a sudden, this phone call is dropped in your lap, and someone has told you that the little girl that you have just put your heart and soul into and cried over, and just, you know, like the last stream where I talked about how many videos she had done for summer, it was like 80 something. It's more now. I would probably take a few days and kind of mull it over and weigh the options, and, you know, like what the point is she did report it. She did report it to authorities before she reported it to all of us. And the only reason she even brought it here for everyone to hear is because there was still money being taken in for these billboards. In fact, that's one of your big issues with the guy, is that he's been taking money from all these people. He's a con. He's a fraud. That phone call being released was a big neon sign saying 423 Chase is a fraud. And if he's not, then why is he telling me that this child is still alive, yet still pushing to have money raised for these billboards for a child who's not missing? You gotta listen to everything. I sit in these chats. You guys don't know I'm ever there, but I'm in them, and I see how quick someone can think one thing in a chat, and then someone can make another comment, and it's never verified. It's never talked about. It's something I've never heard before. But then all of a sudden, people are running with it. And then the rumor mill gets started. And then next thing you know, you got a bunch of people like calling someone over and over again, even though someone only has to tell you 2 times, do not contact me anymore. 2. Anything above and beyond 2 times is considered harassment, and they can press charges. I know things. I go to school for these things. It's also been said by this person that I don't really go to school for criminal justice. Don't take that away from me. Do not even try to minimize or take that accomplishment away from me. I am 46 years old, raising 3 children. I took time off to raise my children so that I could be the best mom for them that I could be, and get them to all their activities and help them grow into good, well-rounded people. And I chose to go back to school to do something I love. I'm not saying I'm a cop. I'm not saying I'm a detective. I've said it loud and proud. I'm a student going to school to be a death investigator. That's it. And I'm going to take a test, and I'm going to get my PEI license. And if there's something I don't know the answer to, I don't just rely on a rumor and, you know, just like hope for the best. Tennessee Twister, it was in October. I don't remember the exact dates. It's on her channel. Benny just showed it on his channel too. He like highlighted where she put in her description when the call was made and when it was turned over to law enforcement. So I think it was October. I'm not 100%. Yeah. So enough. Like, I've watched all of this happen, and the thing with the fundraiser, which is so odd to me, and it just falls under the category of unusual alliances, is the people who were doing this fundraiser now have BK's full support when I'm like not crazy. Like, I know that him and his people were the very ones calling all kinds of, and if they really called, then they really called. If they didn't, then they were just like hyping themselves up. But they were saying that they were going to call all of these authorities over that fundraiser and get it taken down. Now y'all are all just cozy as can be. He's not my favorite person. He knows that. I know that. A lot of other people know that. I watch him. I give you those views, Benny. Don't worry. You get views for me. I even sub to you. And I'll never agree with a lot of the things he does. But it put a smile on my face to hear him call out the Lizard of Oz and the man behind the curtain the other day. It really did. Because I was sitting there watching all her little streams and all her little videos and this and that and trying to tie people together in North Carolina this, and it was crazy. I literally felt like I was in some like psychedelic Grateful Dead video or like on a bad acid trip, because I couldn't make sense of it. And all I saw is this woman really stressing herself out over something that doesn't matter. I mean, yeah, exploitation of things is bad, but you can look at just about anything and try to rationalize it as exploitation, right? You really could. When you guys get up there and talk crap about Tiffany or AB or me or anyone else, you guys are exploiting the crap out of them too. So when you guys talk bad about me, I want my cut. So if you want to challenge me to post proof, Lizzie, about someone's death, I challenge you to post proof about your visual validation timeline. Because I can guarantee you, if you walk it up to the White House steps, they're not going to care. We have a pandemic. There are people all over the country dying from a virus. And you're worried about a visual validation timeline of who's getting more super chats and where they're coming from? You need a hobby and a new boyfriend. And then, let's see. Oh, yeah. Alluding to saying, oh, well, if I put things out there, you might be hurt. People you care about might be hurt. Girl, if it's that serious, YouTube is definitely not the place you need to even be talking about it. If it's that bad to where there's going to be this big investigation prompted and people are going to need attorneys and all kinds of crap, you need to zip your lips, stop talking about it, and go handle it with whatever agency it needs to be handled with. Quit worrying about a documentary and a timeline and clearing someone's name. All you're doing is tarnishing your name by getting pulled into this crap. Did nobody hear when his ex-wife went up on Tiffany's panel and said what she said about him? About lying? About people in his family having cancer before, and how his ex-wife was married to him and she never knew of him having cancer? But he lied and said his ex-wife did when they were married. He lied and said his son did. all you people sitting here digging information on creators and subs and doing this and that and trying to link people together, spend some time and go pull up his criminal history. Felony theft. Theft. Not one charge, not one county, multiple. He went to court and got a continuance on a probation violation. But one of his flavors of the week, who used to be in good with a lot of the people I associate with, the one, I mean, we relied on her for a lot. She kept our chats in check. But she lost her mind too and tried to say that, oh, well, he was only a witness. He was just there for a witness. He wasn't a defendant. They don't put witnesses on the docket. They really don't. Anyone who thinks that they put witnesses on the docket and they like award the witness a continuance, no. He was there as a defendant for a probation violation for a felony theft charge. And a lot of people gave him money. In fact, Penny's come out with some proof about that too. So how many people have to actually, like, you guys are all hell-bent on proof. You thrive on proof. If you can't prove it, it must not be true. Man. Do I need to post receipts of what I ate for lunch? But everyone has been dropping these hints and little ways of proving things for months. Nobody wanted to hear it. Nobody wanted to hear it because it came from Tiffany Marie, and nobody likes her because she had a bad day, called someone a name because they were rude to her. I mean, that's what it boils down to. It's over a freaking coffee. Who cares? People gave him money at the vigil, I'm seeing. He owes Tennessee Twister money, owes Christy some money. Probably the women he was involved with. I mean, apparently a couple of people have to go to therapy with Benny because he just did them in. And I think that's dirty. I'm not making fun of that at all. Benny, please treat those women with respect. Really listen to them. Don't make it be about YouTube. If they're really coming to you to talk to you about some emotional strain that this guy put on them, please keep it off the internet. It's nobody's business. And I feel bad. I don't know who the chicks are. I don't know if they like me, if I like them. I mean, crap, who knows? But it's wrong. When you prey on people who are vulnerable, and let's be honest, a lot of the viewers and subscribers in our community are victims of something. They're victims of SA, they're victims of DV, they're victims of other types of scams. These people are vulnerable. There was a time when people felt safe in our community, but now everyone has to worry about if their personal information is going to be put all over the internet, or if an unflattering picture is going to be posted of them. I've been through it. Some poor woman was doxxed as being me. No one cared about her children. No one cared about my children when they falsely doxed me. But Lizzie made the statement, that she had to keep moving locations out of fear. No one should ever live in fear because of this YouTube crap. And the ones that are saying it's not real life, it's only YouTube, are the very ones taking it real life. Now you're talking about trying to pursue charges because some people get more super chats than others. Girl, chill out. If anything shady's going on, it's going to come to light eventually anyway. I don't know. Maybe you might care a little. about the subs and viewers that, have been scammed or things like that. Well, quit playing tug of war with their emotions. Quit like pulling them in, telling them all these things. You need to stay away from this person. This person's doing that. How about you just don't pay attention to who else they're listening to? I'm not going to let anyone tell me who I can and can't listen to. It doesn't mean I have to go all in and be all about them, but I'm watching. Anyone in their right mind would want to watch a little bit of everything and try to, keep everything in perspective, see it for what it really is. Not talking about it is not a sign of, you must really know something and you have all this strength. No. The fact that you keep egging it on and then not talking about it just is a sign of weakness. That's your go-to, right? You keep egging on all the craziness and the false information and the rumors. Keep perpetuating it because it buys you a little more time. And at this point, apologies go nowhere. Tiffany doesn't want any apologies. I don't want any apologies. AB doesn't want any apologies. Whoever else has been wronged and then come out that, whoops, they were right all along. Could wipe your butt with an apology these days after all the crap that's already been said. I have people that don't talk to me just because of who I associate with. But that's their problem, not mine. Because maybe there might be something, one thing that I might say in one of my streams that they needed to hear and they'll never get to hear it. Because they don't want to be caught in one of my chats. Because then someone will just do them dirty. Quit exploiting the subscribers and the viewers. How about that? Adding up people's money is tacky. It shows a sense of jealousy. And in some cases, it mimics fight or flight. Looking for a problem. Do I want to fight the real problem, or do I just want to say that I'm doing a big fight and then bolt? These two people I'm talking about, Liz Ravaz and then we know Benny, they used to be tight, thick as thieves. Thick as thieves. And I had always wondered why I never saw him in her chats or didn't really see him commenting on anything. It was odd to me. It was duly noted. Come to find out, it's because he didn't agree with what she was doing. He flat out said it. She lost focus. And Benny Keys, you owe me. I haven't said really one bad thing about you, and I keep giving you all kinds of shout outs, sending people your way. But when you're sitting here focused on things that are really irrelevant, it goes back to the narcissistic behavior of deflection. Why are you trying to get everyone to look at people's super chats? Is it helping to find summer? Because you say that that's what all this is for. But I don't really see how it's helping. Pissing a lot of people off. Starting a lot of unnecessary rumors, getting a lot of people looking in directions that they don't need to be looking into. And no, I don't think that we're ever going to solve these crimes on the YouTube. That's heels on the job's ground, right? That's their job. They're going to be the ones to solve it. I'm not going to take that away from them. But you're making it very uncomfortable for people to sit around and do what we've all done. It's what you guys do too. You sit around there and you hurl out accusations and insults about people. But don't you dare let any of us get caught talking anything about the Wells. So it's okay for you guys to dig around in creators and subs and viewers backgrounds and histories, find out where they live, and, talk about their business. But we can't talk about the criminal activity and the lifestyle and things about the Wells or any other person of interest or suspect in any case that looks like a duck, quacks like a duck. Is it a giraffe? You'll probably tell me it's a swan. There was another quote this morning in his stream, says, "I'm always the bad guy for reacting the way I do." No. You're the bad guy for the way you act. Putting out false info and tidbits about a person's character or events is just deflective rumors. Joan Spring also had another little quote. "We can't help people more than they are willing to help themselves. We shouldn't try." I haven't seen anyone in that family trying to help themselves. And for the love of peanut butter and jelly, if they have been, enlighten me. Spend your time on your channel sharing with us all the great things that Dawn and Candace are doing to get their boys back, to work a case plan with CPS, to be in contact with law enforcement on a daily basis, doing everything they can to find their beautiful little girl. But you don't. All you do is yell and talk about people and go after people who just have an opinion that they could have been better parents. And the sad thing is deep down, you know it too. If you're as smart as you say you are, deep down, you know that they could have been better parents too. If anyone is wrong about their opinions or perception of Dawn, Candace, Manma, any of them, then tell us why we're wrong. Prove that. It'll never come. Because we're just going down the line of blaming anybody and everybody else we can for Summer getting gone, other than the two adults that were with her at the time she got gone. No, I don't think it's going to turn out the way you're hoping it will. And I'm already secondhand embarrassed for the people who have crapped on a lot of other people just for the sake of trying to keep their reputation intact. Who wiped this stuff clean? Oh, Chase? Yeah, his says gone, gone, gone. He's got other channels out there. The way they're sitting here saying everybody else is hiding behind all these names and this and that, they're all hiding behind them too. Don't let them fool you. They're not the only ones that notice patterns. It's just not worth my time. Someone said today, as soon as someone wants to help Dawn, they get crap talked about them for wanting to. Well, the same goes for people who don't want to help. If we have an opinion that maybe they might be involved somehow, or maybe they're responsible, and being responsible does not mean that they intentionally hurt that child. Being responsible means that they weren't paying attention. Let's say it was an abduction. There had to be opportunity. And if you look at the stories that have been told, and then you look at the layout of the land, and then you look at what apparently was going on at that moment that she went missing, there shouldn't have been any opportunity. They were at home. She wasn't riding her bike at the park by herself and someone grabbed her. They weren't at a store and got separated and someone grabbed her. They weren't all tucked in bed at night sleeping soundly and someone snuck in the house and grabbed her. It was the middle of the day. Everyone was awake. School had just gotten out. It was summertime. The birds were chirping. It was hot outside. You were going to Sonic and here and there. So explain to me how in such a short time frame someone got up on that hill and took that child. I don't buy it. You could give it to me for free and I'm probably not going to buy it. But that does not mean that I am saying that any one of those adults did anything to intentionally hurt that child. But I am saying that at least one and probably two of those adults know what happened. So I think that if they care anything about that child, now's the time. Face your consequences. Let that baby be laid to rest if that's what's needed. And if she's alive and well somewhere hiding out because of a CPS case or whatever, tell someone where she is so she can start getting the help she needs so that she can live through this and come out as unscathed as humanly possible and grow up to be a productive adult in society. You owe her that. But I don't think it's going to be a happy ending. It's been 7 months. So no, I don't care if their feelings are getting hurt. A lot of people's feelings are getting hurt because of this case. So back to Chase saying that Tiffany only put that call out because he turned her down. And you have proof of that in text. So according to you, we should believe that text message from Chase, the guy that we've all agreed is a con and a fraud, the one that you have said is just the spawn of Satan, basically. We should believe that, but not believe anything else Chase has said in his life, right? Just that one thing that you have proof of in a text message. But should we believe that text message? Because you and a lot of people who hang out with you, I guess, so to speak, have all said, well, you know how easily texts and emails can be fabricated. So are we just cherry picking which texts and emails are free? Someone needs to write me a flow chart or guidelines to follow, because I tell you what, it's just getting to the point now where you have to even prove your proof. Nobody has time for that. And you threw in that thing with the fake Vax cards. It is 100% illegal. Big time charges if anything comes to fruition with that. I don't support it. I have a Cricket. I would never in a million years make fake Vax cards for anyone. In fact, this is how busy I am not going to school. I got my Cricket not this past Christmas, the Christmas before that, and I haven't even taken it out of the box yet. Yeah, that's what going to college will do to you. You even threw Tiffany in that, and you even said with your own little lips that was Molly Golightly's way and Angela's way of throwing Tiffany in the grease. Basically, a way to pull her in and, kind of take attention off of them, putting it on her. I mean, why not? Everybody's already pissed off at her because she wanted her coffee shaken. Hey, have you guys ever tried to drink an iced coffee when there's like an inch of sugar at the bottom? It's gross. So there again, just like with Chase, you don't believe anything else that they say, but you believe that text message that came from a third party, because you even said if you want the truth, you don't go directly to the source, you have to get it from a third party. Well, where did that third party get those text messages? I mean, I'm not saying they looked pretty legit to me. I don't know. The little fox thing was a cute little add-on. Tiffany didn't want a vax card. She doesn't need one. She's not going to get the vaccine. It's personal choice. I'm not going to risk getting the vaccine either. I'm immunocompromised. I'm not taking any chances. I'm not putting something, and this isn't to say that anyone who chooses that for themselves is wrong. I support everyone making whatever choice is right for them. And I'm well aware of the effects of COVID. My dad had to die alone from complications with COPD. He died alone. We could go in and see him after the fact. We only got like 2 minutes and we couldn't touch him. So, yeah, my oldest daughter, her best friend, whole family, positive. Sick as can be right now. She's home from school because she was exposed. My next door neighbor, their daughter, best friends with my youngest, they all have it. So, no, I don't agree with the fake vax cards. I think if you're not going to get vaccinated, you should take precautions. And I think that if you were going to stoop so low as to get fake vax cards, then you should probably keep your mouth shut about it and don't try to throw other people into it. Because now you've got people running with Tiffany being a part of the fake vax cards. Why? Because people already hate her over the coffee. So I encourage all of you people who don't like her based on some Dunkin' Donuts video who is extremely one-sided. You didn't get the whole story there. Go and look at all the things that she has done for Summer and be the judge for yourself of where her heart's at as far as Summer or any other child is concerned. There'll probably be a handful of people that actually do that. And I guarantee you that out of that handful of people, nobody will ever come forward publicly and say, you are wrong about Tiffany Marie. She really does care about Summer. Because it's just gone that far. Especially now that you're tight with the fundraiser queen and the court. Yep. So you got to keep the disdain for Tiffany going now because they don't like her. They don't like me because I choose to support Tiffany. Well, that's why I can't like them back, because they're trying to force me into a situation to where, oh, if I choose wrong, then they're not going to like me. No, you don't even know me. But you knew me enough to block me, even though I was a paid member on your channel because of who I'm friends with. That's fine. I'll keep my $2 a month. You don't need it. You got all kinds of money. So, yeah. None of that has anything to do with Summer. None of that has anything to do with protecting Dawn and Candace. All it has to do with is exposing all these bad people. People will show themselves. Quit trying to take on the responsibility of feeling like you owe it to everyone to, report on every bad thing that someone's ever done in their life. You were no saint in your life. But to sit there and say, oh, well, someone's criminal history shouldn't matter as long as it's on your side. But if it's on any other side, well, then yeah, it matters. No, someone's background and history does matter for certain things. It most definitely does. Especially when you have someone going around soliciting money from all kinds of people and telling vulnerable women everything they want to hear, and then allowing these women to send him money. Does he even still have the P.O. box? What's still going there? You guys are supposed to be grown. And then you get upset when someone calls someone a name. But how many names have we heard you call people on a daily basis? But it's your reaction though, right? People make you do it. You're in charge of you. And you are in charge of the way you react to things. I hear all the vile crap said about me. I didn't listen to what you had to say about me today. I didn't care. Because I choose not to let it bother me. I'm not a bad person. If you weren't such an egotistical jerk all the time, and I didn't know firsthand the dirty crap that you've done to people in your chat, a mod for you. I have proof of things you've done to her behind the scenes. I have proof of emails that you've sent women threatening them, threatening other people in their family. All that crap I used to have about you on my channel, it's all stuff that I've seen with my own two eyes. Proof. You know what you've done. You know how you've treated people behind the scenes. But then all you have to do is get up there and sit in front of a few hundred people and be like, oh no, this person's doing this. And just because it's coming from you, they believe it. You have mods in there that you've done horrible things to. But you know what? They choose to be there. I'm not gonna annihilate them or like advertise it. They choose to be there. That's fine. There's enough of us to go around. Quit worrying about who likes who and quit making the viewers feel like if they go support someone else or they like someone else, that they're going to have to face repercussions for it and worry about being doxxed or talked about or have their children's pictures put online. I tell you what, any of you people come after my kids, it's going to be one of the biggest mistakes you ever made in your life. And you can take that to the bank. Don't mess with me when it comes to my kids. Tiffany didn't want a vax card. She's not a fan of vaccines. End of story. Quit trying to throw her into it just because it helps with your little deflection narrative. That narcissistic behavior. People need to forget about the word narcissism and narcissistic and all of that for a while. It has been run into the ground. Because if you want to get down to brass tacks, we all have narcissistic tendencies. That's just human nature. And who cares if you have to watch a couple of ads to get to someone's video? There was a time when your channel was monetized too. And I remember sitting through ads on your videos. Get over it. But you sit up there on a stream and you're like, oh, yep, see, 2 ads. Got to pay to even watch the video. You got to pay her to even see this. Take it up with YouTube. There are children missing. There are children losing their lives. I don't know why. Maybe you'll explain it one day. I'm all for rooting for the underdog. I'm all for helping people who truly deserve it. I will be the first to say that parents who are in a tragic situation, there is no cookie cutter way of acting, right? When you have a child who is killed or you have a child who goes missing. Hold on, I have to mute for a second. Okay. There is no set way of how you react in tragic situations. None of us know how we would react if our child were to go missing or if we lost someone. I mean, we all try to say we know how we would react, but we don't. We could all react a number of ways. We could all surprise ourselves at the way we react, because in our minds we think we would do one thing and then we end up doing something else. But I gotta tell you, I followed a lot of missing persons cases. I followed a lot of cases where people had been killed. And I'm just not seeing a pattern of behavior from the Wells. There's a lot of questionable things that lead me to believe that they're starting to have a hard time covering their tracks. It could be an accident. It totally could be. And it's bad enough that if that's the case, that they've waited 7 months, but it's not too late. And you strong arming Don, Benny, and telling him, don't talk to these people. You said it yourself this morning. He's not listening. There's a psychology about him. He likes this. He likes this attention. You're literally allowing him to put you in a situation where you're slandering and participating in defamatory activities and making liable statements about people to protect him. How are you going to feel if it comes out that you've treated people like this to help him and you're wrong? Are you going to have any remorse for the things that you've said or done to people? The phone calls that you've done, the people you've doxed, the people in your chats who have harassed other people and sent horrible emails to, look loyal to you. Are you going to feel bad when it comes out that that was all for nothing? That you treated people like garbage and got all involved in their personal life or put someone in danger because you want to protect him? Would he go that distance for you? Because I don't think he would. I just don't. Maybe it's because he's not taking your advice and he's still talking to people. He doesn't need to be talking to anybody. He really doesn't. But I've sat there and don't get me wrong. I mean, I don't know her role in any of it. I think that she has brought a lot of good information to the table as far as, peek at life according to her, from her point of view of life on the hill, being neighbors with them. There's always a little bit of truth and a little bit of dishonesty in everything, especially in the situation. But I sat there the other day and I watched people in your chat accusing Jody Sue of being on heroin, being so high at the time that she couldn't even form a sentence. That's all slanderous. You've even accused me of being on drugs. That could affect me in my real life if people around my area in my departments didn't already know me. That could affect me getting signed on after I graduate. And I haven't done anything to deserve that, but you sure didn't think twice about putting it out there that I'm on drugs. You can't do that to people and then try to turn around and act like you're this advocate for the greater good. And you think, oh, well, people say that I call someone a stupid bee, that I'm abusing them. Yes, you do have very abusive, hateful ways of speaking about people. It's the truth. It's pretty vile. Got Scott H. still trying to throw Tiffany into some stuff. It's all her fault. Why don't you start blaming things that happen on the actual people that it needs to be blamed on? I don't care about the billboards anymore. I really don't. People got scammed. There's nothing it's going to take a lot to convince me otherwise. If that P.O. box is still open and someone's showing up there every day, what's going into it? I don't believe that all the money was accounted for the fundraiser, and holy merciful crap, please don't start another one. If you guys want to donate to anyone, by all means, spend your money wherever you want to. I'm not in charge of your money. But please do your research. Make sure you know what you're getting yourself into. Because people turn on each other in the blink of an eye around here. Whatever this new fundraiser is, I hope that they are a little more organized. I'll just choose to give my money directly to Summer's Reward Fund. I'll choose to give my money directly to any charity that I want to support, any other child's case. I will always support in any way I can. But I am not going to support people engaging in criminal activity on the back of a victim. It's not cool. It's unethical. You people, Benny, Lizzie, whoever else is in your little group, have all said, we're not here to make more victims. We shouldn't be creating more victims. You may never know how many victims you're creating with the vile crap you say about people, or the misinformation, or the lies and rumors that you put out about people. Quit making someone's personal life your business. Yes, Lori Davis, he did lie and say, Chase lied and said that his wife had cervical cancer. My husband and I don't always agree on everything, and we can fight like cats and dogs. We are both stubborn, and there's been a lot of growing pains over the past 18, 19 years. But he would never lie to someone for gain of anything, financial or otherwise, by saying that I am sick with what could be a terminal condition. He would never do that. That's like asking for trouble. That's like running out in the street and hoping that a car doesn't hit you. Don't jinx yourself. And then to lie and say your child is sick, that's just gross. I mean, he'll obviously lie to get out of anything, because as soon as he was called out on that phone call, all of a sudden his cancer, not cancer, was back. But what some people don't know is he was already setting up that cancer, not cancer. Because he had already told Tiffany that it had been in remission for a few years. But then a phone call comes out that, oops, he didn't want anyone to hear, and all of a sudden he's sick again. Come on. Where's your critical thinking skills? So, yes, I'm going to say it loud for everyone in the back. Told you so about Chase. We all did. Lizzie, I don't like you. You don't like me. But get away from that guy. This is one of the few things I will ever back Benny Keys on is, girl, you done messed up. Get away from him. He's going to bring you down, and you are a mother. I know you're a mother. You've told me you were. Think about your children. If it's true that you've been in Tennessee since before Christmas, and you went on stream and alluded that you couldn't be with your family at Christmas because you were in fear that someone was going to be following you around or doxing you or giving your location, then you need to get back home to your children, because that man is not worth it. And yes, I'd like to know why he wanted that shoe so bad too. That shoe of Summer's, I want to know why he wanted it so bad. Because the only people, if that shoe is relevant to anything, that should have that shoe is TBI at the building where they went and tried to protest. Crap around here is getting next level. This isn't what I signed up for. This isn't how it was when I first came on the scene. At all. This isn't what it's supposed to be. How can we sit here and say that we're true crime anything? I mean, there are a lot of people committing crimes because of this. This is literally the case that broke YouTube. I've never seen anything like it. The human behaviors behind all of this, it's like I wake up every morning and I never know what I'm going to see. Like, I never know. And I'm amazed every day. It blows my mind. Don't let people predict your feelings for you. Don't let people tell you how to feel. Make your own opinions. This isn't helping Summer, Lena, Harmony. It's not helping any of them. We're spending more time having to defend each other and defend our own actions and make sure our real life is safe and secure. Enough. Quit worrying about a documentary about some big money laundering thing through YouTube or whatever the crap you're alluding to. Well, I can't talk about it yet, but my people know. My people know. Well, my people know that we're all getting sick of this. Don't sit around counting my money, because I'm not sitting around counting yours. More power to the people making good money on YouTube. For some people, it's their only source of income, or it's extra income. What I make pays my internet bill so that I can keep doing this, but I don't want to do this. I want to talk about cases. I want to get back to a sense of normalcy and a sense of we're actually doing good. Because all of this narcissistic deflection is getting very old. I'm not going to apologize for my opinion. It's my opinion. And my opinion is I think that Candace knows what happened to Summer that day. It doesn't mean I don't have empathy or sympathy for what they're going through. I would be devastated if I lost one of my children. There was a time when I thought I would. My oldest was in a car accident. He was in a medically induced coma. We didn't know how much of him was going to be there when he woke up. So I've been on the brink of potentially losing one of my children, and it would crush me. But they can change the perception that people have of them. They got a lot to make up for, though. You want to impress me? Quit getting on YouTube. Quit talking to creators. You've done all that you really need to do. I mean, look where it's gotten. All it's done is confused a bunch of people and gotten the focus off of where it needs to be. And now you got people that, don't know if they should talk about it because they might get bullied or they might get thrown into some big scandal involving money and super chats. It's a new year. We have 11 and a half months left to do better than we did in 2021. And so far, we're off to a rough start. I want Summer to have justice yesterday. It can't come soon enough. I want the other victims of crimes to have justice too. There's so many other cases that we could all be talking about. Cases that don't get exposure. Cases that didn't get exposure the time they happened. But we got to get up here and talk about scammy McScammersons and billboards and coffee and Vax cards and heels on the ground. It's insane. This is literally the definition of insanity playing out every day on YouTube. And yes, law enforcement, I'm sure, is like, they're all going to need extensive vacations when this case is over with, because I'm sure that we have all given them a run for their money. Trying to get people arrested and this and that. And, it's one thing to just report a crime. If you see someone doing something wrong, you report it. But you don't have to make a big spectacle out of it, because when you go start making big spectacles out of it and you start calling police stations while you're on a live stream and you got people, grabbing the pitchforks and stuff in the chat, well, then you start losing your credibility after a while, after you make enough of those phone calls. Sometimes it's okay to do the right things in a quiet way, in a whisper. Because when you make a lot of noise about it and you try to rally the troops, well, then it just looks like you're doing it for attention for you, not for the right reasons. But that's just my advice, my perception. I am going to start winding it up. I think I've blown out your eardrums long enough. I appreciate all of you for being here. I just wanted to take some time and let you know how I felt about some of the things I've been seeing. It's been a while since I've done a stream like this. I appreciate all the super stickers, super chats, any new members. I appreciate you guys for being here and supporting me. Please, if you guys see anyone harassing or being rude to Corey Chick in any chat, or if you hear of anyone harassing her, that is Scooby's daughter. Nobody should have to deal with that after. I lost my mother 11 years ago, and that is probably one of the most unimaginable feelings ever. When you're little, you think your parents will be there forever. And then when they're not, it's a tough thing to adapt to. You know, I wish I could have my mommy every day. Um, just stop with the conspiracies and this and that. Who cares about a documentary? You want to make a documentary? Make a documentary about all the children slipping through the cracks, all the children being harmed by the very people who are charged with keeping them safe. Make a documentary about something that matters, because people's super chats don't matter. If anyone's doing anything wrong and it involves money, trust me, the IRS, someone is going to flag it and it'll be handled. Sometimes it's okay to just walk away from things that don't matter. Again, I will say there is a virus that's killing people everywhere. And this is what people are worried about. You're being hateful and rude and just gross to other human beings when none of us are guaranteed a tomorrow. So, do you want the last thing that you're seen doing on this earth to be you calling someone a whore, or you harassing someone on a live stream, or you putting out false information and starting rumors about people? Is that what you want to be known for? Guys, be kind to each other. Hug your loved ones. Treat people with the same respect that you expect in return. I appreciate all of you. I have reached out to Taylor McAllister's parents. Hopefully, I will have them on board. We're going to talk about her case. She was killed in St. Petersburg, Florida. Nobody has ever been charged with the crime. The only charges that came out of her death were 3 separate charges of failure to report a death. And that's all I'm going to say about it now. There are other people. Unmasked did a really good video on Taylor McAllister. Go watch it. Hopefully I can get her parents on, or at least ask them some questions, find out where the case is at today. There's just so many other things we could spend our energy on. So let's not spend it trying to tear each other down. Happy Monday, everyone. I will be talking to you guys soon. Again, thank you, everyone. And be safe out there.